Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Back today at Specta Festa Live News with me, Sean Lim. I'm here to bring a news. More than 12 years ago, on March 11, 2011 at 2:46 p.m., magnitude of 9.1 earthquake rocked Japan and caused a tsunami. The quake, which occurred 43 miles off the northeastern coast of Honshu, Japan's most populous island, was the largest in Japan's history and one of the 5 strongest in the world. More than 18,000 people died due to the earthquake and tsunami. This major earthquake also caused devastation in the Fukushima Daiichi region and surrounding area. The nuclear power plant system detects earthquake and automatically turns off the nuclear reactor. Diesel power backup generators were running to keep coolant pumping around the reactor core, which remained very hot even after the reactor was shut down. The first tsunami hit Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant and was blocked by barriers. However, just a few minutes later, a second tsunami, more than 14 meters high, followed, penetrated the fence and devastated the nuclear power plant. Around this time, a nuclear emergency occurred and the Japanese government issued an evacuation order for the residents living within 1.9 miles or 3 kilometers of the power plant. During the emergency, all 3 operating nuclear reactors at the Fukushima nuclear power plant were successfully shut down, but the cooling system and emergency power sources were not operational. The result was the residual heat that partially melted the fuel rods of the 3 reactors. Reactor 1 exploded on 12 March 2011, followed by the explosion of Reactor 3 on 14 March 2021. The evacuation zone was therefore extended to a 20-kilometer radius around the plant nuclear power. In addition, many chemical explosions damaged buildings. Radioactive materials began leaking into the atmosphere and the Pacific Ocean, prompting evacuations and the expansion of the restricted areas. The extent of the damage became clear in the following months. The Japanese government eventually evacuated all residents within a 30-kilometer radius of the nuclear power plant. There were no casualties in the nuclear disaster. At least 16 workers were injured in the explosion, while dozens more were exposed to radiation as they tried to cool the reactor and stabilize the nuclear plant. In 2012, Yoshihiko Noda, the Prime Minister of Japan, claimed that the country had contributed to the disaster in 2019. The court ruled that the government was partly responsible and had an obligation to compensate refugees. Meanwhile, on February 14, 2021, a magnitude of 7.1 earthquake occurred in Fukushima Prefecture, not far from the location of the 2011 tsunami. The earthquake occurred at 11:08 p.m. on February 13, 2021 local time. The epicenter was at the depth of a 60 km off the coast of Fukushima Prefecture. This earthquake reduced cooling water levels in some reactors. However, the operator of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant TEPCO said efficiency is limited because the water is in a closed system, not seeping into the environment. A major problem after the disaster was that the mountain groundwater seeped into the ground below the reactor and became radioactive. The intrusion was largely contained by the 30-meter deep 1.5 kilometer long ice wall, completed in 2008. Rain and other water used for cooling continued to cause problems, with approximately 140 cubic meters of radioactive water produced at the site every day in 2020. According to BBC Indonesia, 10 years later, some cities in northeastern Japan are still in the forbidden zone. Officials continue to work to clear the area so people can return. This nuclear disaster still faces many major challenges. It will take tens of thousands of workers over the next 30 to 40 years to remove the nuclear waste, fuel rods, and more than 1 million radioactive water from the sites. Some scientists believe that this vast ocean will dilute the water with little danger to human and animal health. Environmental organizations such as Greenpeace says that the water ingredient that can damage the human DNA. The Japanese government has not yet made a decision on what it will do with the liquid. And that might be all about my news today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Specta Festa Night News, and Mood Sound out.